This will be the last time we have to prop this old camera up, you know? Well, yeah, I bought some new equipment. Keep in mind, this camera's 11 years old. Like, it's old, man. Hey guys, we just saw
Borderlands the movie.
It was so exciting.
We had a choice tonight. We could see either Borderlands the movie or
Ojibwe Star Wars.
Ojibwe Star.
Yeah, so we're in a part of Ontario where the local indigenous people are.
Yeah, called the Ojibwans. All right, they're in the area,
the language.
And for some reason, I don't fucking know why, they made an Ojibwe Star Wars.
Yeah.
I assume they
dubbed
Yeah,
over.
of course they dubbed it.
They
Yeah.
dubbed over Star Wars, episode 4 in Ojibwe. And after watching that movie, I can say one thing: I think I would have rather have seen Ojibwe Star Wars.
Listen. I kind of want to see what that would be like.
Yeah,
Star Wars.
You guys can go by
interesting.
yourself without the car.
You know what? It was probably one of those things where it was like a one night only thing.
Oh, you should have seen it then.
Yeah, well,
I looked it up and I'm like, Jesus, why is this like
it's
showing of
Star
Star Wars
Wars
is so packed? Oh,
Because it's Star Wars. That's the only reason. Even though it was bad.
because you look at like one of the theaters, like there's a whole bunch of Native people there.
Yeah.
You're like, hey, what's up? Anyways, Borderlands. So
They brought their buckets of KFC with them.
no, they were buying it.
Naomi's like, I don't have. Naomi's like, I don't have the bandwidth for like racial jokes today.
No, I never do because you're stupid.
No,
and
they
they're not that funny.
they had buckets
Okay.
of popcorn.
Popcorn chicken.
That actually sounds really good.
Christ.
I kind of want a bucket of popcorn.
Okay, no, we're all okay. No, hold on.
Honey, stay up, stay still.
Naomi and I were actually like both.
Yeah, you guys you're like sleep drunk.
Naomi and I are both really burnt out. We've had like a long couple days. Okay, so we watched Borderlands.
And it was boring.
It was
Brought to you by-
Boring Lands.
Brought to you by
Borderlands.
Randy Pitchford.
Pitch fraud.
Randy Pitch meeting.
Okay, so what did you guys think of the movie?
It was boring.
Hold on. Take the Borderlands IP out of it.
It was boring.
What kind of movie was it?
It was boring.
It didn't drag in the way that I've found some other movies to be, but
Yeah.
there was nothing special about it. There was nothing particularly spectacular about it. It just felt like just another thing from the the sausage factory.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like even if I didn't know anything about Borderlands, which honestly with my memory I don't.
You did play Borderlands 1 and 2.
It doesn't
None of
fucking
us
matter.
will
I don't fucking remember
Naomi
anything.
played Borderlands 1
I
and
don't
2.
even remember any of the fucking characters. I don't remember anything. It doesn't matter. You're the lore master here because I don't know anything, and neither does Dave.
Well, they were the original characters. It's just
No, they weren't. Only some of them. Okay, so here.
well,
This movie.
Lilith and Roland are original.
This movie is a mashup of Borderlands 1 and 2, kind of just squished together really poorly. So like you have, of the original cast of 4 characters, you have Lilith the Siren, you have Roland the Soldier, you have, I think it's Mordecai the Hunter, who's not in this movie.
Oh, is he the dwarf guy?
No, that's from the second game, Dave.
Oh yeah, he's a soldier.
No, he's the Hunter, Dave.
Oh my god.
Oh my
it
God.
doesn't fucking
It has
matter.
been-
Just
been a long time.
stop.
It's been a long time. It's been a long time.
Just talk.
Okay, so you have your original 4 playable characters in the first game, and the idea is that you play the
You didn't
game.
list off the 4th character. You
No,
got to Mordecai the Hunter. What's the 4th one?
Brick, the big muscle-bound guy with like the fucking fists he punches. So you have like the 4 characters in the first game, and the idea is that you play the game with 4 people, and you are 4 vault hunters, like plumbing through depths and doing quests and getting loot,
So
which
the original
randomly
looter
drops.
shooter.
And then yes, it's the original looter shooter. They said, let's make Diablo, but let's make it into a first-person shooter, and that's why like that was an original idea way back when Borderlands 1 first came out.
2009 was it?
Something like that. I think it was a little bit earlier, but it came out and everyone was like playing this game with their friends. They were playing Borderlands 1, and it was really, really, really popular.
Yeah.
It had only the most bare bones story. Basically, just you're looking for a vault on Pandora. The Atlas Corporation's also looking for a vault on Pandora. You clash with them. You kill General Knox, or whatever her name was, the leader of the vault, the leader of the Atlas, going after it, and then you
Find the vault.
You find the vault, you open the vault, and it's just like a big monster and you kill it in the end of the game.
Yep.
And that's it. And there's some DLCs, but whatever. Okay.
bare bones.
Borderlands 2. Borderlands 2 was significantly more expanded outward, with an actual story, with an actual present protagonist, with in the
Handsome Jack.
Yeah, Handsome Jack, and Handsome.
Yeah.
Everyone looks back on Borderlands 2 and says like, Handsome Jack carried that game in terms of his narrative. He was the
Yeah. And guess who didn't show up?
Well, no, they tried to make the president of Atlas kind of like a shitty Handsome Jack. It didn't really work.
Yeah. I heard the name and I was like, is that first name almost sounds? Is that sound almost like Jack? Then he shows up and he's just some Spanish guy. I'm like, okay,
No.
cool. I
Didn't,
guess.
didn't really work.
No, Handsome
Didn't
Jack.
really work.
Handsome Jack was so popular that he had his own backstory and wasn't he in the pre-sequel? Like, isn't that whole thing about?
Yeah, it's about Handsome Jack.
Yeah.
So here's the thing, right? So in the second game, they're like, there's another vault, and now Jack is after it, and now we have the original 4. Now that Atlas has been destroyed, Hyperion is the
Hyperon.
There, yeah, I remember that too from way back in the day.
We did it. We had a Let's Play with
Yeah.
Cool.
So that's like 2014, man.
Yeah,
so,
protectors.
So Hyperion is the villain in the second game.
Yeah.
And they're also looking for the other vault. And then it turns out that, like, spoilers for the second game, Angel, who is Handsome Jack's daughter, is actually one of the 6 sirens, and she's locked away inside of some bunker or something, and she's like running a fucking computer system with her brain. And there's just also, like, it's not just about finding the vault anymore, because now you have like all the people who live in Sanctuary who are trying to rebel against Handsome Jack's rule, and like now there's a more fleshed out story and things are actually happening. Okay, they take both stories, like they just take like kind of the most popular parts of both stories and just squish them together, and nothing really works.
Yeah, because I remember playing as Krieg. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because Krieg was so the characters in so hold on.
Yeah, Krieg was in the second game. I was very confused when I was watching it. I'm like, was it in the first one?
Yes.
Yeah, I couldn't remember who was in what. Other
So
than,
in the second game, the playable characters are the Gunzerker, the Spanish guy.
Yeah.
And there's Maya, another siren.
Yeah.
And then there's Krieg.
Maya was the blue hair one.
Yeah, the blue-haired siren.
And then Lilith was the red hair
Yeah.
one, and that's how I differentiated them.
Krieg the Psycho, Gage the Necromancer, Zero the Assassin.
Oh, and there's like the
there's
girl, the
DLC
hunter, right? The
people.
girl hunter or whatever. The beast. She was like the beast master or something like that.
No,
Wasn't it like a DLC thing?
There was
No.
a little girl that you could get pigtails.
Tiny Tina, yeah.
Yeah.
No, it was Tiny.
No,
yeah,
no, Gage. That was Gage the
Yeah.
Necromancer. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So basically, they took Roland and they took Lilith from the first game,
Yeah.
and they took Krieg, and they took Tiny Tina, and then they took.
Yeah, but Tiny Tina wasn't even a character you could play.
No,
she was
she's
just a
a-
side character.
She was an NPC voiced by Ashley Birch, and all the internet kind of blew up because Ashley Birch was a big fucking YouTuber back in 2011 or whatever the game was, whenever it came out.
2012, I think.
Yeah. So it was like, oh my god, they have YouTubers doing voices in video games now.
Oh.
Little did we know, it would
That's-
fucking ruin things.
Oh my god, it doesn't matter. It's just.
Okay, so they took Roland, Lilith from the first game. They took Tiny Tina, Krieg, and fuck, who was the 5th person?
Famous.
Okay, Tannis is also from the first game, but she's another NPC.
Yeah.
And they got Claptrap. Now Claptrap, there was a
Claptrap was the best part of this movie.
so Claptrap I think was played by Jack Black.
It was Jack Black. Although
I mean,
some of
that's
his
why
lines,
it was the best part of this movie.
some of his lines, I was just thinking to myself that these jokes are about as funny as a Trump assassination joke.
Okay, so listen. They took Claptrap's storyline from the second game.
Yeah.
It is that specific Hyperion branded Claptrap. Because in the first game there's a ton of Claptraps. In the second game there's only one left. And it's the Hyperion yellow one that everyone knows.
Yeah.
And they said, you know what? Let's just do the story of Borderlands 1 and 2 and just mix them together. So you have the Crimson Lance who are going around. But then you also have like the president of Atlas is now basically just the Handsome Jack stand-in, and he has the same relationship with Tiny Tina that Handsome Jack had with Angel, where he was like this abusive father figure who just like exploiting his daughter for personal gain.
Yep.
Yeah.
And like Tiny Tina is kind of cast into the Angel role, and in fact, when she's initially rescued, it's like breaking Angel out from the second game. Yeah, like it's a lot of it just is mashed together. And it doesn't really work. It is at the very least something new. They didn't just like follow the original lore down to the finest point, because that can sometimes also ruin a movie. But they didn't make anything that actually worked at all.
They probably could have done a good job mixing the first and second movie like together.
Games.
Yeah,
It's like games,
what
whatever.
happened though is that it was
It's like
originally
a
supposed
form
to
of
be,
media.
it was supposed to be an R-rated movie. It was written as an R-rated movie, and then it got. I think that like the executives got a hold of it, and I think Randy Pitchford got it. He was part of the problem too. Is that they I don't know if you noticed, but they basically made this movie for like 12, 13-year-olds.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they did.
Which is
Yeah.
bullshit, because this game should be made for people that are, adults, or at least 16 plus.
Keep in mind, it's really only teenagers who are playing Borderlands nowadays.
Well, at this point, yeah. Who are the ones who played the games like
Back in the
a
day,
lot?
they were
They're in their late 20s, they're in their 30s, they're all in their 40s.
Yeah.
Or we're gonna say like 25 plus. So
So-
why not just go for that group? But
But yeah,
No.
like basically the movie does follow just the basic plot beats of the first game. They just threw in a bunch of second game characters because they're the ones that everyone knows. 'Cause the second game was way more popular than the first game.
hey, kids, it's Mark Hamill.
And then there was, so like the actual, in terms of what the story and the pacing and all that, it's just kind of like mediocre. It's like whatever. I guess the real issue is that like, oh, that's an issue. There we go. Everyone in this movie is horribly miscast, with the possible exception of Jack Black and Tiny Tina.
Yeah, Kate Blanchett is like 55. And
Yeah.
she's playing someone who's
Lilith
should
is
be like 30.
Lilith is 21 years old.
She's
Yeah.
21?
She's 21. I remember that.
Jesus. And they aged her up to I think 44
Yeah.
because she said it's been 36 years since she's been on Pandora. And
Yeah, so why-
she left
Why did
left
they get
Pandora.
Why did they get Kate Blanchett for this fucking role? Like,
I
it makes no
don't know.
sense.
Here's the thing, Kate Blanchett is like a classical actor.
Actress, excuse me. Don't misgender.
It's not misgendering, it's a general term. Don't be an asshole.
She has been in a lot of big movies. Yes,
She played
yes.
Queen Elizabeth. She was fucking. What I thought was the funniest thing was how it starts off with her narrating about the movie, and all I can think about is Lord of the Rings and how much better it was.
Oh yeah, because she was Galadriel, right?
Yeah, and then it's her just putting on this really not very convincing American accent. There were points in the movie where she sounded like it's like she knew she was fucking up the accent, and no one really caught that part except for herself.
I don't think anyone cared on this movie.
I don't think they did.
Yeah.
I think the only person that actually cared was Randy Pitchfuck.
So here's the thing. I know like Roland is a shorter than average black man, and so is Kevin Hart. So okay, fair enough. But like
Is
he's
he? Well, no,
I thought Roland was like
I
at least
heard
average.
that all the
No, Roland's short.
complaints
He's short, man.
were about Kevin Hart's casting was that he was too short.
No,
Roland
Roland-
was supposed to be a huge dude, but maybe they're mixing him up with Brick.
maybe Roland's a short guy.
Okay.
From what I remember.
Roland was
Well, in any case though,
I think it was that short.
no, he's like a 5'5" king or something. But anyway,
Well, Kevin Hart's like 5'1", so
whatever.
That's fine.
So here's the thing though, is that also like Kevin Hart's too old to play Roland because these are younger characters. Roland's like 30 at the most.
I mean, Kevin Hart doesn't really.
he doesn't look that old. Actually.
Yeah, the thing with Kevin Hart is that he doesn't really look as old as he is yet, and
yeah.
because he's a comedian, he still has like the body, like energy
Yep.
of a younger person.
Yeah, fair enough.
So like it was fine.
He's the size of someone that's a younger person.
So Kate Blanchett was horribly miscast as
Yeah.
Lilith.
But like she didn't do a bad job. I just feel like she wasn't really given much to work with.
Maybe. Yeah.
No, and that's the thing. It's like it's a massive downgrade for her because she's actually a very accomplished,
Yeah, you know what's
very
funny
well-crafted actor.
is that I found personally anyway that like with all the actors in the movie, like nobody really did like a bad job.
Yeah, they're all.
It was all either like
They're all earning their pay today,
It was
yeah.
like it was all just across the board
Functional.
average.
Yep.
It was it's a sausage.
I also want to point out that Tannis is way too fucking old.
Oh, I don't
Oh
even
well, it's Jamie
remember
Lee Curtis.
the character.
Here's the thing, though. Jamie Lee Curtis.
She was also
probably
very young.
they probably asked her, and she's like, "Oh, I get to cosplay." She's known as being in terms of celebrity cosplayers.
Yeah.
It's not just someone that got famous for playing cosplay, obviously, because she's been an actor for like 50 years.
Yep.
But she loves that shit, so I didn't mind her as that. I know she's old.
Yeah.
I know she's like 7 year old.
You can always age up scientists. They're supposed to be old.
Yeah, no, but Tannis is like a young character, and
That's
like
fine.
Yeah.
It's
I don't.
fine.
That's one of those things
The
where
o- here's
I
the
don't
thing.
mind
So,
so much.
well, the only one that was actually lore accurate was Moxie, because Moxie's actually like in her 60s in the game.
Yeah, that
And
was
she-
a really good casting, and I
Yeah,
really enjoyed
that was actually
Yeah,
really good
yeah.
Moxie.
Yeah.
So
that
in
was
the
really
game,
good at the costuming department.
in the game, Moxie's a grandmother, and she's in her 60s, but she still like makes herself like all tarted up by like putting on a ton of
She's
makeup
just,
and like.
so much pancake makeup.
Yeah, and that's just Moxie's character, is that she's like.
She's the burlesque queen.
Yeah. So she's someone like, if you're drunk, she'd look really hot, but she's a grandma, and you don't want to see her when the makeup comes off. That is what Moxie was in Borderlands 2, and it was completely fine for this.
Yeah.
It's just that like the mains seem to be so terribly miscast.
Well,
Everyone's like, what the fuck?
then
Well,
we
Kevin
can't
Hart
really
wasn't-
miscast Krieg.
Okay, well then, Kevin Hart wasn't miscast then of Roland Short.
No, okay, for Kevin Hart, he didn't have the same like
Gravitas.
as Roland.
I don't remember.
He did- he-
Gravitas. Yeah.
Kevin Hart did not play Roland well, and Cate Blanchett does not look like Lilith at all.
Okay, well that's
Krieg was
okay.
just Krieg.
That's two. What about Krieg? I thought that just reminded me of the game. Krieg
Yep,
was Krieg.
yep.
No, Krieg is Krieg.
And,
Krieg
and
was just
Tiny
Krieg.
Tina.
Yeah.
Tiny Tina was pretty good, yeah.
Tiny Tina was pretty good. I just wish that the director would have given her a little bit more like, you're crazy. You're crazy. Do a little more.
Well, they had to make her sympathetic, though.
Yeah, but like a little more like during the battle, like the one point I got was when spoilers, like she stabbed a dude and like there was that look of glee on her face, and that was like the only moment where I was
She was
just
actually
like,
crazy.
yes,
Yeah, that's Chinese.
I want more of
I
that.
think it's one of
To
those
be
things where
fair,
they expected
when
to
she
have a
like
sequel.
when she threw the bombs at Lilith the first time they met.
That was pretty fun.
That was
fun.
pretty true to form. Yeah.
So I guess I'm actually surprised that Hollywood did it, to be honest, because have like I think Tiny Tina's like 11 or something, and
Yeah.
she's like killing people, and it's kind of wild. And like, but it's a video game, it's like whatever. Now the age over a bit, but she's still under 18 clearly in this fucking movie. She's still clearly under 18, and she's
They
like
made
a psycho.
recognize the
fucking-
actor. She's
what the
been
fuck?
something recent.
What's that movie about superheroes?
Which one?
Hit guy, Hitman?
Kick Ass?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, they had the young girl killing people in that too.
Yeah.
they did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But here's the thing,
Yeah.
like,
See, that's how you handle that kind of stuff.
Yeah, she's
That's
like
how you
13 in
translate
that.
stuff. Yeah.
But here's the thing, though, right? Because the actress said, now that she's older, she said, "I regret doing that movie," and from what I understand, Hollywood would never let that be done again because I was too young.
Oh, that was dumb. I thought it was a really good movie. I
Yeah,
enjoyed
it was actually real. It was a pretty damn good adaptation of the graphic novel.
Yeah.
Like that. Like I looked at that movie as the best representation at that time of making a graphic novel, because they couldn't make, especially that guy's stuff. Like they could not adapt for shit.
Yeah.
So
Well,
sometimes you get it right.
I guess adult cartoons have taken the place of child actors.
Yeah, I guess.
More or less.
Yeah.
I'm not entirely sure if that's good or bad. It's probably good, to be honest, but you know.
Yeah.
So,
It's controversial.
oh, there's one thing I noticed. Like, some of the CG in this movie looked pretty good, but there's so much of it, and some of it was really fucking bad.
Okay, yeah, there was a couple of
Oh my
times where, like after the big attack, right after they found Tina, like they were falling, and I was just like, that looks weird. Like they looked fake while they were falling, but like they didn't look like dummy fake. It looked like animated for a moment.
Yep.
But like the most realistic, like computer generated very realistically.
This is gonna sound really strange, but I think the worst CG in the movie was a shot near the beginning when Lilith is pulling up to Tiny Tina's like little fortress of broken cars for the first time, and she's in the catcher ride thing, and like it drives by, and there's that swinging shot of her like pulling in. It looks like, if you just focus on her face, like as she's sitting in the driver's seat, it looks so fucking fake. Like it's incredibly fake.
She's not in a rig.
I mean, here's the thing, like they put in all the member berries for fans because the car is the same car, and the psychos are the same psychos, and all the references are all there.
Oh, yeah,
a
and,
lot of the characters are. Hold on, Dave, because like a lot of the characters are there. Now they're done poorly and they're done inconsistently, and they're not true to the actual lore, because I think General Knox was a siren, and in this one she's not. But like a bunch of the characters are all there. And the locations, the Costa Caverns are replaced in Borderlands 2, and Sanctuary is there. Like, all the name drops are there, but like, they're just putting things in front of the screen for fans to be like, I remember that, I know that name, I've seen that thing, but none of it really lines up with anything in the
Yeah, the
games.
problem was it wasn't done well. It wasn't like Mario where it's just like, yeah, it's just member berry after member berry after member berry, but it's still following the cohesive story. Like, when you watch this movie, it does legitimately feel like, okay, here's a scene. There's the next scene. Like, it felt very, like, scene by... Like, the whole movie just kind of felt like scene by scene by scene. Except for...
With no connective tissue.
Except for some of the action sequences.
Yep.
Like, I think my favorite part of the movie was, like, the Costa Caverns.
Yep.
But they're nothing like the actual Costa Caverns.
Yeah, I understand. That's okay.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
Like, realistically, you could have replaced all those fucking enemies with, like, anything. Like, monster... Like, some sort of monster, zombies, giant bugs. Doesn't fucking matter. But, like... Overall, out of the entire movie, that was my favorite part.
Listen, they should have...
That whole sequence.
There should have been that area of the Costa Caverns where there's all the Minecraft stuff.
Yeah.
Where the creepers show up.
Oh, yeah, totally. That would have been super entertaining.
That would have been lore accurate.
In this very boring movie.
But what I do like is that Randy Pitchfucker felt really bad after the Snow White kerfuffle, and he hired all the dwarves that Peter Dinklage got fired. It's the Peter Dinklage clause.
Oh my god.
I've never seen that. It's like there's a whole gang of little people, of like dwarves or whatever you want to call them, and it's going. Peter Dinklage must be fucking fuming right now.
That's the final thing to talk about is Randy Pitchford. So, Randy Pitchford has kind of turned into a Kojima-like figure, where it turns out that he actually clearly does just want to make movies, but he couldn't hack it as a director, so he's making video games. And
so instead of being a video game pedophile, he wants to be a Hollywood pedophile.
Yeah, I guess. But basically, like Kojima very clearly wanted to make movies out of Metal Gear Solid and couldn't do it, so he made video games, and he's like been desperately like inching towards like more Hollywood, trying to get out of video games, and it's just not working out for him. And like you can tell in his video games, like exactly like how they're laid out. It's like this is
whatever one of the Metal Gear Solids has like the longest cutscene ever.
Yeah, it's Metal Gear Solid 4.
Yeah, like what 72 minutes I think it was.
Yeah, it's fucking ridiculous.
I'm pretty sure I saw it too.
Fucking huge.
I'm pretty sure I've seen it.
And that's not like total amounts of cutscenes. That's cutscene.
It's one cutscene. Yeah.
72 minutes.
Yeah.
You want to make a movie? It turns out. And here's the thing, like he after he left Konami,
you know what he should have done? He just made fucking anime.
Well, after he left Konami, he made Death Stranding, which is just a giant fucking cutscene.
Yeah.
So like, story. Don't get me fucking started on Death Stranding. Don't.
So here's
Death Stranding 2.
So here's the thing, right? Basically, Randy Pitchford has kind of fallen into that category as well, where like he's been neglecting other parts of Gearbox for like 2 decades now to focus on Borderlands, and Borderlands became the one thing his company was known for. And then he started neglecting the video games after he opened up his movie studio. Yeah. And
now this is gonna fail.
And he just made a shitty movie.
Yep.
Yeah, he basically just tanked the company.
Like, usually it's good when, like, the creator of something joins in on the process of the movie. Usually makes the movies better. Not this time.
Not this time.
Like, I actually really strongly dislike the fact that they decided to make the siren powers just not exist until the end of the movie. And, like, I was just like, but they're known and they should be legendary, and that's why she should have been like known how to fight instead of just being abandoned. Spoilers.
Sorry, they were just watching this guy on the he was outside the car, and he's probably one of the people that works there, and he's like just kind of going by his skateboard, and he's got his skateboard with like LED lights at his wheels.
Yeah,
and
that's cool.
He's just like off-key yelling out his song.
Yep.
Yeah, we were listening to him as he went by.
The guy's living a good life. Good life.
Yeah. See, that was more entertaining than the movie.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, I will say though, Marcus was pretty well done.
Oh,
the Russian gun vendor.
Oh yeah.
Was pretty well done.
Yeah, I liked him. I mean, it wasn't a very big part.
No, he was
only
there
there for maybe 5 minutes, but he seemed like a amiable sort.
Did you guys notice that that Moxie's 2 kids were there beside her at the very end of the movie when she appeared for like one scene? Like that was it, like Fat Ella, the huge chick, who who crushes cars, and then also the Catcher Ride guy, the mechanic. They were both standing beside her, and just as a cameo, and I was like, it's a member berry.
I did not notice that at all.
No.
And also like all the member berry lines, all like the dumb things the psychos scream out, like I regret everything.
That was great.
That was in the movie once.
That was all in the Caustic Caverns. Yeah. That's why it was the best part of the movie.
Yeah.
Like a bunch of things were like, okay, as a player of that game, I remember, I get it, but like this doesn't make a good movie.
Nah, it was boring. Like, there's lots of movies that are just, like, they're not great movies, but they're, like, fun to watch and just, like, turn your brain off.
Yeah.
I was legitimately just kind of bored. There was a couple of things that got a small chuckle out of me once in a while. It was mostly Claptrap.
Yeah.
It was mostly Claptrap and then Krieg and Tina interacting. Those are my two favorite things.
Yeah, when they're drinking on the same milkshake.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, you know what this movie is? This movie is like an encapsulation of the millennial experience, because when Borderlands was new and popular, all this humor and all these characters were iconic. All this humor was fucking hilarious. But now those same millennials are now like
writing the movie,
fucking 40, and they're old now, and the humor is like dated and lame. And it's like, oh, that's this movie.
It's almost like they're bringing...
Full of old people and dated and lame.
It's almost like they're bringing their kids to see this movie, Dev. Almost like they wanted to make this movie for this.
Oh.
Yeah, remember.
I'm not a millennial, so...
No, you're
At
not.
least according to you.
Nope.
No.
Like tail end, cuspy or whatever. But
No, I looked it up. Naomi is Gen Z.
No one can fucking decide. I'm just an in-betweener.
There's... Yeah.
We're not getting into it.
Yeah,
okay.
whatever.
Okay, hold on.
Demographers can't agree on anything.
Anyway, that was Borderlands.
Borderlands.
Yeah, it wasn't really that fun.
Also, don't get mad at us for supporting the movie. We went on the cheapest night we could.
The cheapest night, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? I'm gonna go watch the other media video about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like the first thing. I'm going to watch Critical Drinker and I'm going to watch other media.